Now, President Trump had congratulated the country of Poland on the day that they were invaded by Nazis. I'm not kidding about this. But wait, it's not quite as bad as it sounds. Now, while speaking to reporters in the South Lawn, Trump was asked if he had a message for Poland on the anniversary of the Nazi invasion. Now, that took place on September 1st, 1939, so it was a few days ago when Trump was asked this question. A reporter said, Mr. President, do you have a message for Poland on the 80th anniversary of the Second World War? So now pay attention to that question because that's actually really important for the context. In response, he says, I do have a great message for Poland. I just want to congratulate Poland. It's a great country with great people. We also have many Polish people in our country. It could be 8 million. We love our Polish friends, and I will be there soon. Now, look, Trump had to cancel his trip because of Hurricane Dorian and all that. So, okay, no criticism there. Here's where the criticism starts. He has no idea what he's talking about. None. So let me give you context. Now, September 1st, as I mentioned, that's a day of remembrance in Poland. Remembrance, not celebration. This is not something that you congratulate someone for or a country for. Hey, congratulations. It's been so many years since you got invaded by the Nazis. Yay! It's been 80 years since the Nazis came and took over and killed millions of Jews. That's not something you celebrate, Mr. President. Oops. But again, he's deeply ignorant, so he has no idea what he's talking about. Now, the difference between, like I said, Trump and other world leaders who did weigh in is, again, they actually know what they're talking about. German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier marked the occasion by asking Poland for forgiveness for his nation's aggression. He said, quote, this was a German war crime. Whereas Trump, again, says, congratulations. Now, again, I don't think it's congratulations for being invaded by Nazis. No, he's just stupid. He has no idea what he's talking about. Trump has no knowledge, no intellectual curiosity. He doesn't read. He doesn't read his briefings. And so it's not a surprise that he continues to embarrass us abroad. This is your stable, very stable genius. Now, Mike Pence, his vice president, he actually did read up on this. He has some knowledge. He visited Poland in Trump's place over the weekend, and he said, quote, it is difficult for any of us who are not Poles to fathom the horrors that began here 80 years ago. On this day, the 1st of September, 1939, while the hearts of every American are with our fellow citizens in the path of a massive storm, today we remember how the gathering storm of the 20th century broke into warfare and invasion, followed by the unspeakable hardship and heroism shown by the Polish people. Now, in that speech, he also called out the twisted ideologies of Nazism and communism. Well, at least he called out the Nazis. And now what's funny about that, right? He also said there was the unspeakable evil of the Holocaust that he also called out. So that's really important, right? So now here's the thing. More than 3 million people, that's 3 million Jewish people were murdered, okay, by the Nazis. Now, there are people that support Trump that don't believe that happened, that deny it to this day. Complete and utter insanity, right? So now, look, Donald Trump's not a Holocaust denier. Let's be fair about that. But he has fed into a lot of tropes that are anti-Semitic, whether it be putting Hillary Clinton's face in the Star of David in one of his ads, or talking about how this room sees more negotiations than any other room, talking to a group of Jewish Republicans, okay? And so talking about all this stuff and doing all these ridiculous tropes against Jewish people. I'm going to take on the globalists, the global financial elite. That's stuff that, of course, echoes David Duke, because, again, this is a guy who believes, David Duke, who believes that Jews run the world and Jews run all the banks, when there's actually a lot of bankers that are definitely not Jewish. So it's important to point that out, right? He also said that the people on Charlottesville were originally, both sides were good, right? Now that other side had the KKK, neo-Nazis, white nationalists, white supremacists. Well, white nationalists, white supremacists, and neo-Nazis, kind of the same thing. That sort of same hateful philosophy towards Jewish people and people, of course, of other colors. But look, here's the thing. This is less about his racism and anti-Semitism and his tendency to believe conspiracy theories, and actually more about him being just really dumb. I mean, look, not only is he a dumb person, but he's also incredibly lazy. And the reason is it's so easy. If you're going on a trip, you might want to look it up. Or if you're, going to consider visiting Poland on the 80th anniversary, something that's important for another country, but not necessarily yours. But if you actually did plan on going, you would read up on this and go, oh, okay, this is why this is not a celebration. This is why you don't say congratulations. But he can't help himself. He says the wrong thing in so many ways and so many times at so many times. And it's just that's part of him being lazy. He's too lazy to learn the history. But of course, in order to not be lazy, it turns out you might actually have to care about other people than yourself, so that you can at least muster up the ability to pretend that you actually care what you're talking about. And Trump just does not have that ability, unlike past both Republican and Democratic leaders, I'm sure. He just can't be asked to actually pretend to give a crap. And that's unfortunately the mark of a sociopath, and that's what we have as president. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a patreon.com/TYTNation set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.